Hey, 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 welcome back to the Passive Buddies podcast. Now, if you are watching the video version, Brandon is probably sat there with a huge smile on his face based on what has happened over the last couple of days at the time of recording. Today's episode is a crypto episode. Now, we don't do as many of these as we used to, but this is definitely worth shouting about and definitely worth telling you exactly what has happened. So, today's episode is how to make 10K in 2 days with crypto, creating passive income in the process.
Yeah. I usually say, like, you introduced me. I feel a little left out.
I did have said you had a big smile. What more do you want?
You did. You usually say, take it away or something like that. But yes, maybe I just have just a big dumb grin on my face, and it just went over my head and I totally missed it. But yes, I have I have 3 Gala nodes actually. Now I have one. And Gala nodes, if you guys aren't familiar, it's kind of like the Steam. If you're a gamer, then you know what Steam is. And Steam is a platform for regular games to be hosted on this platform where people can buy these games and play them. What Gala Games is going to be the Web3 version of gaming. And so they essentially have a lot of partnerships with some great developers for Web3 games. And some of them are even AAA. I want to say like Epic Gaming, which is I think they created Fortnite, is partnering with them. I think some really other big companies, and they do themselves produce content and games. So I had a node that essentially helps the ecosystem by providing resources from my computer. And it's kind of like each node that is on a particular computer is providing the resources that are not being used to create like a cloud server, in a sense, so that they don't have to buy servers. They can rely on people like you and me. And so I bought 3 of them, and I thought, you know what, I had some money. I think I spent $26,000 on 3 of them, and I made $10,000 back. And you might be thinking, Brennan, that is not a good investment. Why would you lose $13,000? That sounds like a horrible, horrible move. Well, in doing so, over the last year and a half, I've been getting minted Gala every single day, which has allowed me to make probably 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times that. From using those nodes, I've been getting Gala every single day. I would sell that Gala, not every day, but I would sell that Gala and buy other crypto, cash that crypto out. And so I made quite a bit of money on those nodes. And I figured, since the income from these nodes are making still like $400, $500 a day, a month, I can take that money that I have right now and still earn more money. So essentially what it would take to recoup. So I'm making $500 a day. To get that $500, a month, to get that $500 back, it would take 10 months to get that in Gala. And I just took that up front. So I took the cash flow up front. And now I'm going to be staking that cash flow, that liquidity. And what I like to say is buy passive income. So I got 10,000 actually, because I sold 2 nodes. And now I'm going to either stake those in liquidity pools, which I have been doing, and making about $40 a day, which is quite a bit more than the Gala node. So essentially the Gala node is making 8 times 30, $240 a month. It's probably a little bit more than that now. And I'm making $40 a day times 30. I'm making $1,200 a month. So about 4 times as much. And so not too bad. And the person that contacted me, they wanted it because they heard of Gala, and I no longer wanted it. And so I just made it so that I sold those, and now I'm reinvesting the income that I received and buying more passive income. And so, and all I'm doing is just putting it into liquidity in like Uniswap, and then getting fees on that. And it's not like I have to, I can take that capital out at any time. and then take that capital and say buy a car rental, another car to put on Toro to make more passive income. What I'll end up probably doing, and me and Brian kind of talked about this off air, is I'll use my 5,000, 10,000, and because it was $5,000 each. I just keep saying today because it was 5,000, but take that 10,000. It's going to make me $50 a day, probably more now. Actually, it's probably going to be like $80 a day, and I'm going to take that and then buy Ethereum, and then I'll stake that on Aave, and then I can then borrow against that asset and buy a car rental, which then is creating an infinite money loop, which we've talked about probably a year ago. So you guys definitely want to check out that video about the infinite money loop, because essentially I'm just using leverage to buy another income producing asset to then hedge against my bet. And I recommend watching that video. We go more in depth about that. But yeah, I'm using money to make more money, and then using leverage or debt to buy cars, which is then creating cash flow so that I can repay my debts. And that's ultimately how you build wealth, is through leverage and through cash flow and assets. You're muted.
It's not often I'm muted. I can't believe I was muted for that long. So guys, like, obviously Brandon's bought them. I think he bought them at about $8,000 a piece for each Gala node. Sold them for 5. So yeah, it looks like a loss, but then when you look at how much he made over that period, it's back in profit. Then from there, he's now gone from making a small amount a day to a decent chunk amount a day. He's then took that chunk, obviously put it into a pool, which is now bringing him more money. Then he's going to use that money to buy more cars, because he's just a Toro king who keeps on renting out cars and buying more cars. He's going to have more cars than Audi soon, guys. But they'll be Priuses because he likes the Prius. And it's just, as you say, that constant moving. So you sold 2 nodes, have made 10 grand or got 10 grand. From that, you've now basically took your money. What was it, like $4 a day or $8 a day you were making?
It was $8 a day, and now I'm making $80 a day.
So 10 extra your daily income.
Right.
Which is then going to buy another asset, which is then going to give you another grand to $800 a month. It's like, damn.
Yeah,
it's absolutely, absolutely insane.
It's really just using cash flow and leverage. And if you can master those 2 things and risk tolerance, then you're going to do really well for yourself. And the thing about the infinite money loop is you never repay your asset. So you consistently buy to de-risk yourself in crypto, but you are continuously buying more to lower your risk. And then by adding more of that asset and lowering the risk, you can take more and borrow more money, which then I can buy more cars, which then create more cash flow. And then I buy more assets. I don't de-risk. I de-risk, but I don't pay it back. And it just becomes a loop where at a certain point, I have to buy more space because I can't have so many cars in front of my house. I have to buy land, which then I'm taking that and buying another asset essentially. And I'm going to put those cars on that. And then I can sell that business, that cash flowing business of cars and land, and use that to buy a bigger business or whatever, a better investment. And you just keep playing this game. And I mean, it's funny, it's crazy to think about this. And this is totally off topic kind of, but people don't realize the difference between $1 million and $1 billion. And I mean, we make well over 6 figures and we're both going towards 7 figures, but 7 figures to 8 figures is insane. And I'll give you an example. 1 million seconds is like 11 days. So if you think about 1 million seconds, it's 11 days. 1 billion seconds is like 34 years. So from 11 days to 34 years is insane. And so you think I just saw a GM report the other day, and they made in net profit. So they made gross like $198 billion in the year in 2022. And their net profit was like $92 billion. So like it's just insane the amount of money, and so that's ultimately what they do. I mean, you're using assets to buy more assets. You're using money and leverage to buy more assets. That's like you look at the richest people in the world, like Elon Musk, God, blanking on his name, Jeff Bezos. They essentially, that's what they do, is they build recurring income. Amazon, PayPal, and then they took that income and they bought more assets. Like Jeff Bezos doesn't run Whole Foods, he doesn't run Zappos, he doesn't run all these other companies that they own. He focuses on Amazon and then buys more companies. Mm-hmm. And that's what Elon does. Is he started XPay and then joined up with, or created PayPal with his partner, sold PayPal to eBay, and then bought into Tesla. And he didn't create Tesla, he bought in, and now he's the CEO. So he bought his way in. And so that's essentially what I'm going to be doing with the Toro machine. Is I'm going to be building a cash flowing asset with that, and then I'll sell that to another investor and buy another company, and then continuously create the infinite money loop that that the rich create. So that's all I wanted to add.
Absolutely love it, guys. So, but it starts when we take it right back for you, who's probably starting out on that journey. It starts with building cash flow. Now, obviously, Brandon went and obviously he's built cash flow in the past, which allowed him to buy the nodes, which is then basically been the foundations of this episode. But if you're not at that point where you can buy those cash producing assets, you need to create cash flow. And by creating cash flow, you need to be joining the Cash Flow Challenge, which will be the first link in the description below. You need to be joining the Cash Flow Challenge as we teach you how to make cash flow online, and then multiple streams of income underneath that. By doing that, you can start this process of the infinite money loop, which will allow you to become truly financially free. So again, 100% click that link in the first link in the description. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let us know we are doing a good job, and tell us if we're not, and we will see you on the next episode.
Peace.